10 times that you want to go live. All right. Here, let me find the live. Hades,
Where am I looking?
on the thing. It should say it on the subscriptions thing. Okay, give me that. So let's go to subscriptions, live and direct, and there we go. That should be it. Successfully, okay. And nobody's watching yet. Maybe I can make this work a little better, like that. There we go. Okay, so Mike can guess more. StreamYard live viewer comments show up on StreamYard. This is an example. Tap on a comment to show it on screen. Okay, let's go with guess. Invite guess. Copy. Up to 6 people. Okay, guess more. How do I do comments? Hey, somebody's watching. I don't know who. Maybe it's me. But yeah, I'm back. Here's Doc. Hey, there's Mikey. Okay. So how do I post a comment? It's not letting me post a comment on here. More. Private chat, post comment. There we go. And then copy. Enter. Is that enter? Did that do it? Hey, all right. Why do I have no sound out of the phone? Got to shut off YouTube in the background, kill this. Okay. Well, I don't have any sound coming out of the phone, so I can't hear anything. I'm going to turn down the TV. How do I make the sound come out of the phone?
You turn up the volume.
Yeah, I did turn up the volume. I don't know what's going on. I don't have... Guests. Okay. Bingo. Add to stream. Shut it off. Hey, I have somebody on there.
Hey, what's up? Morning.
Oh, now I can hear off the phone. I guess it's not telling. It's not. Is that normal that I can't hear myself on the phone, but I can hear you?
That's 100% correct.
Okay. Okay. Now it makes sense. All right. So now I can turn down the TV. And I won't have a feedback loop. Bingo.
There you go.
Awesome. All right. And I can see the comment. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, StreamYard's the way to go, man. It's free. I paid for the subscription because I wanted to have multiple cameras when I did my motor swap yesterday. So I was able to do that. So that was good.
Okay. So I'm afraid if I hit that button, okay, I can see good enough. Nice, excellent. All right, this is neat. And how long will this let me? Is this like a trial thing, or am I going to have to pay for it eventually, or can I keep doing this?
You can keep the free version forever.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. I'm digging it. Now I can be a live streamer like y'all.
Free. So you'd have to manage your hours of how many hours you're on. So if you're on an hour today, that gives you 19 hours left for the month.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, and I probably won't be on much longer than that. I'm not that interesting. I don't know if I can uphold it as long as Ray does.
Well, and that's the thing is when you have multiple guests on, or if you want to do a special guest that everybody will keep it going for you.
Oh, honey, I forgot to get a hat.
Well, let me rectify that
I
problem.
still feel
for you.
weird. Give me a helmet.
Oh yeah, no, you're not wearing a helmet, man.
Let's see. So,
Get your balls out of my
Mike,
face.
Cam, guests, and more. What's on more? Broadcast info. I don't think I need any of that. Layout. We'll fiddle with that later. Good conversation is good conversation. So 20 hours a month. So if I go on once a week, that's like 5 hours worth every week.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good one. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My lovely wife, my lovely wife, who's also my assistant.
There you go.
I'm your everything.
Yeah. Now I feel better.
There you go.
I'm gonna
now you're the dog on a hog. I know. You got your hat on.
I'm gonna pull the big light on, babe, so it's better lighting.
Don't threaten me.
Let's see. Okay, still cast a shadow, but oh well.
So yeah, you can schedule. Dog, you could schedule your lives to come on a certain date and time, and you could create thumbnails to go with it and everything. You could have special guests. Like I had Pro Monkey on one night. I've had Doodle on another night. I've had Meg from Meg's Motorcycle Journey on another night. So, I mean, I had VP Customs on another night. So you can have all the special guests you want, and they'll help you, grow your channel, grow your lives and everything. I think it's a great tool and asset to have if you're interested in growing your channel.
That I am. I mean, I would like to get to the point where it has a little bit of reach, and because part of the mission of our club, and as a result of my channel, is we do benefit stuff for veterans and kids and disabled people and whatever. And I was kind of hoping to get this channel to the point where I could plug events and things of that sort on the channel. So I would really love to get a little bit bigger reach out of this channel for those purposes, if nothing else. But also, I mean, I like doing this. I'm not sure who said it the other day, but it might have been Ray himself. But he said it's the sense of community. We get on this, and I mean, I think you're where, in Tennessee or Kentucky or somewhere over there, right?
No, I'm in Connecticut.
Oh, you're in Connecticut. Okay, but you're East Coast. And it's like, if it wasn't for YouTube, I would have never met you.
Bingo.
Would have never met Mikey, and turns out I met Mikey in person after doing YouTube stuff, And Harley Fat Boy Jr. is the same way. It was a Facebook thing, but just doing the online community thing, and you get to meet people that you would have otherwise never had the opportunity to run into.
Yep, which is awesome. As a disabled veteran, I say thank you for what your organization does to help out veterans and also children. I think that's awesome. I'll do whatever I can to help promote your events, even though I'm East Coast and you're West Coast, but I believe in, veterans helping veterans.
And if the projects get big enough, we're looking into, I'm fairly certain who Adam Sandoval is.
Absolutely.
And he's doing the 120 and 120 this year.
Yep.
And he's going to be at 2 different Harley dealerships that are within a ride reach of us. So I'm going to reach out to my club, and I think we're going to try to piggyback on that and maybe raise some funds for him and be involved in that convoy thing with him. So that's a nationwide thing that we can be involved in. And it's again because of YouTube.
Yep. And I got, when I was down at Daytona.
What?
What did you just say?
What?
He said what? What did you just say?
That is not what I said.
What did you just say?
What?
I said your wife has access to lots of veterans.
Oh yeah. Well, my wife is, explain your title. I don't know.
It's right there on the.
Say it.
Vice President of the American Legion Auxiliary Post 75.
Oh yeah. So she's like a bigwig in the American Legion Auxiliary. So we have a network there ready to go to. So we're hoping. I don't want to get into the whole story because I've said it many times. I don't know if you've heard it or not, but we had a riding group, and it got pretty big. But we had a core group of people that were involved in almost everything. What? Ooh, I'll look at that when I'm off the live.
Okay.
We had a core group. Sorry, she's distracting me with house searching. We're planning on moving, and it's taking all of her attention. Where was I? Oh, we had a core group of people that we had like over 200 people on the Facebook page, but when we went on rides or did events, there was maybe a dozen to 24 people that were hardcore involved in everything, and we want to go to the next plateau, which meant starting a 501c3 ish. I think it's going to be a different variant of that, but the same basic idea. We want to be nonprofit status so that we can do bigger and better things, but we needed to be more organized to do that. So we decided to take the core membership of the group and create a club out of it so we could have more organization and more, so we'd be more legit, for lack of another way to put it.
Yeah.
So everything that we do.
Legion, I know Legions have their American Legion Riders section. There's also the Combat Vets Motorcycle Association. They're a national organization.
The CVMA, we have close contact with all of those groups.
Yep, I was a member of the CVMA out here in Connecticut. And I was very instrumental in starting a second chapter out here in Connecticut. I was a member for them for 5 years, and then I left them and I went to a 1% club.
Well, before I forget again, I just want to interject for a second, because you said thank you to us for what we're doing, but I think I can speak for our entire group and club when I say thank you for your service. Absolutely. More than what we do. So
I was a job they paid me to fly in helicopters. So,
well, I mean, that's cooler than what I do. I swing hammers, so. Mikey says from the pound. Well, yeah, we're probably moving from this exact spot, but we're going to stay here in this town and hopefully find a cooler spot. Possibly stay in this town. If we do move, it's not going to be very far, and we're hoping to get a cooler, more accommodating spot to do these things because, that we have concerts here, and we have giant benefit barbecues and things of that sort, and we're trying to find a nicer spot to be able to hold those events at. So.
Trying to find a lot of land.
Yeah, somewhere that's got more property, so we can more clean property, more manicured property, so we can have campouts here and things of that sort. So yeah, we're moving, but we're trying to do the Jeffersons thing and moving on up.
There you go. How much acreage you looking to get?
As much as we can for
as much as we can, but in our budget, we're probably looking at about 3 to 5 acres because that's manageable for us.
Oh, wow.
Property is very, very expensive out here in Oregon.
Yeah, Mikey, you're probably right. I probably did have your gears on my helicopter. I mean, all I know is most of our parts came out of Corpus Christi from being remanufactured, or we got them new from Boeing, depending on what the supply chain had. But hey, man, you're live. You're doing it. Is this something you're going to probably do on a regular scheduled time, or something that when it tickles your fancy?
I don't know, to tell you the truth, until I made that silly comment on Rays, I hadn't really made any plans yet. I had thought about it, but the thing is, there's, so many people in this, I can say our group now because you guys have welcomed me into it, but it's hard to find a spot. You guys have got it sewn up, but, I think
there's so many YouTubers out there. I mean, for instance, like Bri the Biker and I, our lives are the same time on the same night of the week. And I proposed to Bri last week that maybe once a month or once in a while we get together and join forces and do one live.
You can do that. You can do like a joint live between the two of you.
Yes.
Would it be on both of your channels, or would you guys have to
I
decide
believe
who's
so. I gotta try and figure out how that works. I'm hoping Brian's smarter with that than I am. Um,
He's a pretty smart guy, so
yeah. And worst case scenario, he could be a guest on my channel. I could be a guest on his channel.
just
And then,
alternate back and forth. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, just for the fact of, competition's good, but also at the same time, you got to keep it friendly. And I really like Brian. I like his content, and I think it'd be beneficial for both of us if we could join our forces, maybe once or twice a month, and do our lives together. I think it would be awesome. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be different. Uh, I'd love to see that, to be honest with you.
Hello, Motazillions and Evil Rick. Sorry if I don't catch you when you first come on.
Hello,
I do. Quick question for that Motazillion. I saw you make a comment on Rays. Are you a West Coast person as well? I saw you say something about California on there, so I'm curious if you're West Coast along with us. You can do Thursdays. I'm out. You just started, Mikey. How can you be out of it already? I think I'm going to do the smart thing and try to plug a cord into my phone so it doesn't go dead in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, because the live streams will eat up your battery. I don't know if you got a chance to see. I did a 5.5 hour live yesterday on the motor swap on one of my bikes.
I caught a little bit of it. I was in the middle of a bunch of things, but I got an alert and I checked it out. And I was going to go through and watch it, the rest of it later. But yeah, it was a soft tail, right?
Today.
Yes, sir. I live in Riverside. All right. Well, welcome to another West Coast person. It's not what I want to do. Tried it. It wasn't for me. Oh, well, there you go. As you say, you could sit in the side chat and make jokes.
Yeah. I mean, I took that bike out today for its first ride, and like I say, and it's not even tuned.
But it's rideable
on auto tune, and I went for a little ride, and I cracked that throttle a few times, and I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
So explain, because I haven't got to watch it in depth yet. Explain. All I can tell you is you put a motor in a soft tail. You tell me more than that.
I have a 2020 Lowrider S, the soft tail version, and it came stock with the 114, and it was fine for about the first 1,000 miles, and I wanted more horsepower. So I did a stage 2 in it, and with the stage 2, it was making 107 horses at the tire at 126 foot-pounds of torque roughly at the back tire, and that was great for a little while. And then, being a horsepower junkie and a gearhead, I said, I want more power. And my wife and I were talking about it, and Christmas Eve, I ordered the 131 crate motor. Well, while I'm waiting for the crate order to come in, I start looking at, okay, it's a go fast motor. How can I make it go faster? And my wife,
what's the crate numbers on that?
131.
No, I mean, what's your horse and torque on a crate coming out of the box?
I don't know. I haven't dynoed it. I don't take what people claim or companies claim horsepower and torque. They say it's a 30% increase over the 114. Probably about 130 horse and torque at the crankshaft.
Gotcha.
So I was like, oh, okay, it's a go fast motor. How can I make it go faster? So I started doing some research on cams, and I found a cam, the Cyclorama CR512. It's got a long duration, so it keeps those valves open a really long time. Then I said, oh, I'm going to put a cam plate and oil pump in there. And might as well do lifters. Oh, might as well do roller rocker arms. Oh, we're going to beef up the clutch. So let's get a 30% stiffer springs. And I already had the variable rate pressure plate. And I'm sitting there going, wait a minute. Probably going to make close to 150 horse. Might as well convert from belt drive to chain drive. And now I got to be able to stop this thing. So I got on the phone and started talking to companies. And I talked to Galfer, and they said, use our pads and rotors. You don't have to upgrade your calipers. So I said, okay. And I went down that rabbit hole, and the credit cards are screaming bloody murder right now, but they're getting back under control.
And it is a rabbit hole, huh? You can't just buy one thing. It just kind of Pandoras and snowballs. And
When you build high performance, oh yeah. And I also said, hey, you know what? I don't think these injectors that come with the 131 will support what I'm trying to do. So I bought bigger fuel injectors and I put those in. So a lot of brand new parts came off that motor that aren't being used.
so you're gonna have a giant yard sale here in a month.
Well, I mean, it's a
Shop
cast
sale?
iron. It's a cast iron cam plate and oil pump that you find on any stock 114, 117. So that worth anything. I did keep the Screaming Eagle cam. It's a 512 cam from Screaming Eagle. It's not that. It's got some lift and duration, but not like the one I put in there. And I have the rocker arms, which are stock rocker arms. And so, it is what it is, And I got the stock springs for the clutch, but nobody really wants to buy stock.
So are you gonna do a ride video? I mean, you said you already test rode it, but you still got some tuning and stuff to do. Are you gonna put that out there, or just talk about it in your shop? Or are you gonna actually?
I'm going to do a video while it's going into dyno tune on April 5th. Of the actual dyno tuning, the numbers, the final numbers, and then the ride home. I'm going to do the first official ride of it being completed, because it's not complete until it's tuned.
Exactly.
So, and that's where that is right now. But
So I know other people probably know this, but I'm kind of new to the scene. So maybe you can explain to me. I mean, obviously, with a name like Dr. Harley, you've got some background and experience in this. So you want to let me know why, or how, or what?
Okay. I went to a vocational high school and I took automotive. And while I was in there, I was, my first job, I was pumping gas in Bridgeport, Connecticut, which is right next door to Bridgeport Harley. Well, I got to know the owner very well. And I was telling him about schooling and everything. And he says, well, when you're tired of pumping gas in the rain and the snow, come talk to me. I'll put you to work as a helper in the shop. I can't put you on a lift because you're not 18, but you could be a helper. So I was like, wait a minute, I could work inside where it's heat, air conditioning, no rain, no snow. I don't get held up at gunpoint. Right on. So I started working
at 17 years old. That's awesome.
16 actually.
Oh, even better.
Because I started pumping gas at 15. I lied on my application of my age. And so, at 16, I started working for Bridgeport Harley. And I got my motorcycle endorsement before I got my actual car license. And I started working for Harley. And, on my 18th birthday, he put me to work on my own lift. And he says, okay, here's an FXR. You got to rebuild the forks. Okay. I've seen it done plenty of times. And, me being young and stupid, I didn't read the manual. And I just started taking forks apart. And the first one I took apart exploded all over the place. Because I didn't relieve the preload pressure. And of course, everybody in the shop got a good laugh out of it. Bill comes up to me and says, next time, read the manual, stupid. And that's one of the nicest things when you work at a Harley dealership, especially back in the 80s. There was no PC correct. And, they talked to you like a man. They treated you like a man.
Amen.
And then I decided, well, you know what? I'm going to join the Army. And I joined the Army and I worked on Apache helicopters and moved my way out of Apaches to Chinook helicopters, became a flight engineer. So I've literally worked on everything from model engines to helicopters. And that's where the doctor comes in, and Harley is, because that's all I work on. I once in a while I'll take in an Indian or a Victory to help friends out. I don't, people call me and says, hey, I got this Victory. Sorry, I only work on Harleys. But I have some close friends of mine that, that have, Victories and an Indian, and yeah, I'll help them out. And, it is what it is. But I prefer
Nice.
working on Harley Davidsons because I like them and I find it therapeutic to work on Harleys just as much. I enjoy working on Harleys as much as I do riding them.
Yeah, it's always nice to be able to do something that you're interested in, because then it's not so much a job as it is having fun.
Well, it's not a job for me. I have a full-time job that I work, and I go to work 40 hours a week, and when I get home from work, I go to work in the garage till about 10 o'clock at night. I work any day that ends in Y. I mean, I've had people call me up on Sunday and says, "Hey, I just had a flat tire. You think you could change a tube for me?" And I said, "If you got the tube, sure." And they'll get a tube at like Cycle Gear somewhere, and they'll come down and I'll change the tire tube, or change the tire. And or if someone says, "Hey, I'm leaving, I need to get my oil changed." Okay, come on down. I got the oil, got the filters. Let's change your oil.
Well, it'd be a little hard for me to hit you up. I'm about 3,500 miles away.
Yeah, an afternoon ride. And I've always been around Harleys my whole life. My old man had a 65 Pan that was a custom chopper, and it was over 9 feet long with a Springer front end. And my uncle, his brother, had Harleys, and my aunt Bev and him, they used to travel on the Harleys. They've gone everywhere on it together. So I've always been around Harleys. I just never had the money to get one until I was 40 years old.
Well, that's cool. I mean, yeah, I wish I had learned more. I got into Harleys at a late age, but I'm fairly mechanically inclined, and thank God nowadays we have the internet and YouTube and so on and so forth. So I since I've had my Harley, I've taken it into the shop. Well, technically twice, because one time I got a flat tire on the road, but it was when I first bought it. It was under warranty, and I needed a compensator, or is it a compensator or rectifier? I'm still not sure.
Well, you got a rectifier for that takes your volt. On your charging system, you have a stator that creates AC voltage.
Yeah.
And from there, it goes to your rectifier, which changes it from AC to DC voltage, which your bike runs off of. So,
well, it's the little box that's at the bottom of the down tubes, like where the down at the bottom of the down tubes. It's compensator or rectifier, whatever that box is.
Then you have your stator, and then your rectifier's in front.
Yeah, so it was the rectifier. But anyways, Harley wanted like $230 for the part or something like that. And I was it's literally like 4 bolts and a plug. But I had a warranty where I take it in for $50 and they fix anything that's broke. So I took it to the shop that day.
There you go.
So instead of, paying $250, I paid $50 and didn't have to touch it. So, but other than that, I've done everything myself, and I'm learning as I go. And I want to have eventually. I'm trying to open up a little shop, because there's not that many little shops out here by us. There's some big dealerships and stuff like that nobody really wants to go to. So I'm trying to open up a smaller shop, and what I'd like to do is mostly like R&R and cosmetic upgrades and things of that sort, because I don't know enough about the motor yet to actually get that in that depth. But I'm learning, and I'm a shade tree mechanic. So when my bike breaks, I fix it, and then I know how to fix somebody else's.
Yeah, I mean, I work out of my garage, but as you saw in the video, it's an actual shop. I got 2 lifts in there. I have my own tire equipment. There's nothing I can't do, but I limit myself to stage 2 only. I won't go into heads or pull jugs off, because that's a lot of work for a little bit of money. And I'd rather change oil all day long, and I'll make more money changing oil all day long than I would be rebuilding a motor. Spending a day rebuilding a motor. And if I'm going to spend the time in the garage, I want to try and make as much money as I can, because that money goes into my bikes or my trips or things like that. And that's just how I work it. And and if you crack a motor open, then you need a repair license. And for the work I do, I don't need a repair license. And then once you get the government involved with licensing and all that, then they're in your pocket all the time.
Yeah, that is their job.
Yeah.
But that sounds like a
So,
pretty sweet setup. I kind of envy you on that because you know I'm at the point where I'm having a hard time doing my lifelong career, so I'm trying to find different career paths to go down, and I'm in my 50s now, so it's a little rougher now. If I'd have tried, I'm 50. I just turned 53 a few weeks ago, so
yeah, I turned 53 March 8th.
I
when
was
I was in Daytona.
I'm a month older than you. I'm February 9th.
Oh, right on.
Oh, you were in Daytona for your birthday? That's a hell of a birthday present. That sounds pretty cool.
Yep. I was down there. I left on, let's see, I left on March 1st, and I got home on the 13th.
I think I saw you. Were you in the motorhome following somebody?
Yeah, we're following Motormogging.
Okay, yeah, I saw you on somebody's live stream. You popped in and you were talking about pulling in, and you got kicked out of one place with your RV and had to go somewhere else. And I was watching that night.
Yeah. That's kind of funny. We pull into a truck stop and it was a truck stop. We got kicked out.
Yeah, kind of weird how that works.
Yeah,
I got arrested by the police at a rest stop one night. I had a really late night at work, and I had been up for like 20 some hours, and I was about 2/3 of the way home and decided I was just not safe to drive anymore. I wasn't drunk. I was just plain out tired, and lines were blurring. So there's a pretty big rest area just outside of the metropolitan area here. And I said, I'm going to pull over and take a couple hour nap. And, you know, it's safer than me trying to drive the freeway right now. And damned if it wasn't 15 minutes later, I had a cop knocking on my window telling me I couldn't sleep there. And I said, wait, this is a rest area. This is where you're supposed to come and rest. And he wanted to pull me out and give me a sobriety test and everything. I said, man, I'm just trying to be responsible here and trying to do the safe thing. And it doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes. It really doesn't.
No, it's like saying, look, but don't touch. Eat, but don't taste. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great trip. I had such a great time down there. My buddy and we've already booked our spot for next year at the Cackleberry Campground. I don't know if you ever been to Daytona Bike Week at all.
I've never been to Daytona, period. So that's on the other side of the coast. I used to go to Orlando and Kissimmee and Tampa when I was a little kid because my grandparents were snowbirds. But I don't think I've stepped foot in Florida in probably 30 some years.
Yeah, well, the campground's actually in New Smyrna Beach, and I look at it as it's a rally within the rally, because you had the Cackleberry Campground, then you had the Cabbage Patch across the street, and both of them had food vendors and other vendors. They both had live music. It was literally a rally within the rally. I had a great time there. My buddy had a great time there. I hung out with Professional Monkey on Tuesday night, and a lot of bad decisions were made over a bottle of Fireball. And I don't know if you follow him at all. If not, really give.
Oh yeah, he's one of my first.
Yeah, so I got to hang out with him, which I felt blessed to hang out with him because he's an awesome dude. Not because of, his subscribers or any of that. I met him on YouTube, and, we got to talking, and next thing you know, we're staying at the same place, and we hooked up, and next thing you know, I'm sitting in his camper drinking Fireball with him, and he's got these 2 giant rubber chickens, and he took a picture of me choking them. He said, "Stop choking my chickens."
Choking the chickens. So I got a question about Daytona, and this his video actually makes me ask this because I heard here and there, I heard rumors about the Gestapo activity down in Daytona, and I just bikers as a rule aren't great big fans of cops anyways. But then when I saw Pro Monkey put a video out about the police activity down there, I figured there had to be something to it. You want to elaborate on that without getting yourself on the radar?
My whole thing about cops, and I'm not a big fan of them, but they do have a job to do, and they do deserve to go home to the families every night. And there are some good cops out there. There are some bad cops out there. An instance of a good cop was when I was in Gettysburg. I was sitting there watching the traffic and bikes roll up and down, and some guy stumbles out of this bar, is walking down the street, could barely stand up. And the Gettysburg cops look at him, and then they looked at me and says, "You know this guy?" I'm like, "Nope, don't know him." And they're like, "Well, can you move over?" I'm like, "Absolutely." "Oh, nice puppy." So they told the guy to sit on the bench for a few hours, sober up a little bit, and walk back to where he was staying, and they could have pinched him and arrested him for public intoxication, breach of peace. They could have just lodged up the charges, but they didn't. They did the right thing, not to ruin the guy's time or anything like that. Just made sure he was safe. And I think that's awesome. I looked at the cops and says, "Hey, man, right on. Thank you for being who you are, and make sure you guys get home safe to your families tonight." Now, there are a lot of cops out there that will, they look for anything, especially with bikers. And some of them are motorcyclists as well.
Yeah.
And, and those are the cops I don't like. And, right away that they have the Napoleonic complex, that you'll respect my authority. And I sit there and hold up the Constitution, says, "Hey, do you know this?" "I do." But Monkey always says, "Do you want to be right, or do you want to be let go?"
Exactly. Need that straight, babe.
See, but I'm that type of idiot. I want to be right.
Sounds like me.
My correctness varies with my alcohol content level.
See, I'm at least smart enough that if I'm drinking, I'm not riding or driving.
Hey, Lolly and Frogzilla, I'm saying hi.
Hello.
And yeah, you don't drink and drive.
No, I don't. I have a rule. If my motorcycle is not in my shop, then there is no alcohol in my system. I used to be pretty big drinker before I started riding all the time, before I became a full-time rider, when I was just a motorcycle enthusiast. But never drank or anything like that while I was on the bike. But now that I ride my bike as much as I do, I've all but pretty much quit drinking. Pretty much I drink at home. We have parties and concerts and stuff like that here at my house. So the bike gets parked, and then I can get my drink on, because it's literally 20 feet of crawling and I'm in my bed.
At home.
What's that?
You can't get a DUI sitting at home.
Well, that's technically not true, but you're highly unlikely to.
Well, it's in our
But
bylaw.
and don't get me wrong. If I'm out and about, like at a rally, I'll have a beer about every hour, but I'm not going to go into excess with it, and I'm drinking water in between, because I like beer. I mean, honestly, I like the taste of it.
See, I'm opposite. I can't stand beer.
And
I'm a liquor drinker, so that limits me.
And I'm not going to get buzzed and get on my bike. I'm just not going to do it. It's just too much at risk. So
yeah, and I personally, and I'm not trying to sound anti-weed here, but I know quite a few people that smoke weed and get on their bike, and I don't understand that. I did that once years and years and years ago.
Like, with a bunch of guys like that, and I used to sit there and just get behind me.
When I think I was like 26 years old or something, and Jay, hey, Farmer's on here. What's up, Farmer? Speaking of, but
James Jackson's here too.
Yeah, that's well, that is my previous road captain. I think he's on hiatus from that position at the moment, if I remember correctly. But what? Yep, he is taking a hiatus from his officer position, but he is one of our club members. But when I tried to ride stoned, and even worse, I was on a crotch rocket at the time, And I literally lived about a mile away from where I was to getting home. And I felt like it took me 45 minutes to get back home. And it was the weirdest feeling ever. And I never tried it again. I was just like, I did not like that experience at all. So I just, like I said, since I've started riding as much as I have, and we even have it in James Jackson will tell you it's in our bylaws that we, if one of us is under the influence of something to the point where we're disabled, then it is our duty to keep our brother off of their bike.
Yep, and get him an Uber.
Yep. Or just stay here, or we get them. There's always, not everybody brings their bike. There's always a cage in the driveway somewhere. So we will find you a safe way to get home, because we consider each other family and we look out for each other. So,
like I said,
but
I've said it many times, I'd rather you be pissed at me by making you leave your bike here and get you a ride home than me visiting you in the hospital or at your funeral or, posting your bail.
Well, I had a buddy get mad at me one time because I wouldn't let him drive. And the next morning he was yelling at me. And I said, the reason why you're standing here yelling at me possibly is because I did what I did last night. I would rather you sit here and give me dirty looks and be angry at me than, like you said, having to deal with the other options, which could be much worse.
Yes. I don't throw the term brother around at all. But if somebody has earned my respect and my trust, and I end up calling somebody brother, I mean it. And you don't pick your relatives, but you pick your family.
Amen. And speaking of family, come here, buddy. Come here. I was trying to show everybody. Come here. Give me a kiss. Come here. If you watch, this is Romeo. And take a good look at his face, and then watch the intro to a few of my latest videos, and you'll see why that's my intro. Because it's not, full disclosure, that's not my dog in the intro, but if you look at him, you can't tell the difference. So I had to use that clip for my intro, because he's kind of one of the reasons why I started my name, is because before I had my Harley, I've got a Suzuki Intruder that I'm slowly turning into a bobber. Oh, right. But every time I'd park it out in the yard, I'd turn around, come back out, and he climbed up on it, was sitting in the saddle.
Yeah.
So it was a dog on my hog. So that's where the name of my channel came from.
I love it. It's perfect, man. Romeo's a beautiful dog, man.
His name is Romeo.
Is he in your first video, Mikey? I'll have to watch that possibly, because I think he was out while you were here. So yeah, Mikey's actually met him.
Yeah, right on.
He is big, fast, cool baby.
But I've actually flown my helicopter up the whole San Fernando Valley, starting from Barstow all the way up to Fort Lewis, Washington.
Oh, geez.
That would be awesome. That's one thing I've always wanted to do, is learn how to fly.
And I'm sitting there flying by Mount St. Helens. I'm looking down, going, "Hey, no, a house down there older than 30 years old."
No, I think there's one or two by Tuttle Lake. There was like a holdout guy up by there. That's a whole nother story, though.
Yep.
All right.
I remember when that blew. I was in grade school when that blew, but upon further research, Mount St. Helens has grown, since then, and they said it's going to grow again.
We get alerts every once in a while, and it is what it is. I wasn't here. I didn't get out here in Oregon until 1995. Yep. So it was before my time when it blew, but I've been up there, and you can see it all.
Mount Rainier.
Yeah, Rainier's supposed to be a bit. Well, they're actually saying that there is a possibility, if all hell breaks loose, for lack of another way to put it, that Mount Hood actually could explode again, and that's right in our backyard.
Yeah. Now, is there separate insurance you guys have to get on your houses for that?
Not that I'm aware of, because I don't think I'd buy it. I'm not going to pay insurance for something that may happen, because usually if something like that happens, you're not around to collect the insurance on it anyway. So no, we do flood insurance here. Oregon's wet. We do flood insurance here. Everything's a floodplain.
So, you being from Oregon, are you like a Beavers fan? Go Beavers.
Funny story. I'm actually a Buckeyes fan because I'm actually from Ohio. But when I came out here, you know, and all the jokes you want, but I've been a Browns fan all my life through all the hardships. And I
I'm a
rode a
Giants
Suzuki.
fan, so I mean, I feel your pain.
Yeah, right. But when I moved out here, I was still into the NFL back then, and I said, well, I definitely don't want to root for the Seahawks. You know, that's just not my thing, and not into any California teams. They said, well, if you're in Portland, you have to root for a college team because that's what we do here. We have college teams, and you have to pick between Ducks and the Beavers. So I sat and I thought about it for a minute, and I said, well, I seem to relate everything to what I like to eat, and I've never eaten ducks, so you can finish the sentence.
I was just going to say that. Go Beavs.
I like beaver and more than I like duck, so I can afford beaver. Right? Well,
I can vouch for that.
no, I can't afford beaver either, but you know.
They're expensive. But the payouts, the return on investment is always better.
But yeah, so yeah, that's what we do out here. We were for college teams, and it's pretty funny because over the last decade, I'd say the Ducks and the Buckeyes were running into each other a lot in postseason play, and I was not a popular person out here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I was stationed at Fort Hood, Texas, back in '89, I won tickets to a Dallas game. So happened they played the Giants.
No, geez.
Me and 50,000 Dallas fans. And I'm there with my Phil Simms jersey. I mean, Phil Simms was a quarterback at the time. And this was right before the dynasty run that Dallas had. And I actually had to leave in the third because I feared for my life. When I left the game, the score was 53-3 Giants. I actually feared for my life because I am your average New York, loud, obnoxious fan.
A real fan.
Yeah. Very loud, very obnoxious, especially at a live game. And, you know, I actually left the game because I feared for my life.
Yeah, that happens in the old Cleveland Stadium and Pittsburgh Stadium back in the days. It was a big rivalry, and that was quite the adventure.
Stadium. The one Giant fan is gone. They applauded. A couple guys says, you know, you're brave wearing that jersey in here. And I'm like, it's only a game. And then once the game started, and I just turned into this wild, crazy New York fan.
Yeah, it amazed me because, you know, being from the Great Lakes and in the Midwest and in the eastern cities and all that, you know people from Buffalo and Detroit and all of that, you know, because people out here don't know. You guys, you understand because you live up there, but like from Cleveland, within 5 hours in any direction, I could be in one or two other major cities. And it's not like that out here on the West Coast. So, you know, people don't understand that.
I could be in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. Well, I think it was a 9-hour drive to get to Manhattan from Cleveland. Like 3 hours to get to Buffalo. To Detroit was like 3.5, 4 hours. Chicago wasn't that much farther. So, you know, I could probably, if I wanted to, visit like 6 different major cities in one weekend. And but you know all these people, and NFL fans are really hardcore in that part of the country, and they really, really get into their teams. And I didn't expect that when I moved out here, but it's ridiculous how many, because Oregon is probably 50% full of ex-Californians now. We had a big migration in the early 2000s, and these guys come up with their Raiders and their 49ers stuff, and they're ready to shank somebody on a Sunday. And I was like, football fans are football fans. It doesn't matter where you go.
Yeah, some of the stadiums, I believe, even have prisons in there to hold you till the cops come.
All right, Mikey, peace out, brother. Thanks for hanging out, and maybe we'll do this a little bit more often. That's pretty cool.
Night, Mikey. But I'm honored to be on your inaugural live.
Yeah, you are my first official guest.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
If I had a sticker pack, I would instantly send it to you. But
Well,
they're in the
me on
works. I'm working on
Instagram,
it.
send me your address. I'll send you one of my stickers and poker chips.
I would like that. You'd be the second one. I've got Harley Fatboy Juniors is the only YouTube channel I have so far, and I've been begging everybody. I love stickers. If you
I'm
look
a
in my
little
shop,
behind on the mailing, and everybody who's watching has already messaged me. I apologize. I've been a little preoccupied with Daytona and then coming back with all the work I got going on. But I do have them, and I will be getting them out. Those are the stickers.
ooh, we see it on there. Can't see it on my phone. I'm waiting for it to come on the TV.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, I like that. That's nice. Yeah, I'm digging that.
My tattoo artist created my logo for me. I gave him a couple ideas, and within 20 minutes, he comes back at that with this with me. I'm like, oh, I like that. You know?
Yeah, I'm digging that. I want one of those.
Yeah.
We'll have to
got
do
one,
that. I'll have to
and,
get a sticker pack so I can trade stickers with everybody. Poker chips. Yeah, I don't have any of those yet. Look, honey, here's those poker chip here in a minute. There's a delayed reaction. We got to wait like 30 seconds for it to show on the TV.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
They match the stickers.
Yeah, that's
I gave out
badass.
about 150 poker chips in Daytona.
I think I'm leaning towards keychains. Not a lot of people give out keychains, so I'm thinking maybe some keychains might be in order to be a little bit
Here's
different.
my thinking on the poker chips. You know, I did business cards, and I hand somebody a business card. It goes in their wallet. When was the next time they see it? A year or so later, when they clean out their wallet.
Right?
So, bikers love poker chips. Every Harley dealership has them, and every Harley dealership charges $5 a poker chip.
Yeah, they do. That's kind of crazy.
And if I give you a poker chip, you're going to stick it in your pocket. When you get home, you're going to empty your pockets, and there's that poker chip that's sitting on your nightstand. It's a marketing thing.
Yeah. I'm going to create, when I finally get my new shop set up, I'm going to make a board like you watch Big Smitty?
No.
Oh, you should check. He's like an ex-wrestler or something like that has he's a Goldwing rider, but he just does motorcycle stuff in general. Big Smitty Riding, I think, is his channel. I haven't seen him in a bit, but he's pretty funny. He's got a great personality. But I saw somebody else, one of the other guests on Ray's. I don't know if it was Moto Noggin or the Northern with the EN at the end. One of them, like, I saw behind him, the whole ceiling and wall or something was full of stickers and whatever. I thought that was pretty cool. I kind of want to do something like that.
Yeah, it's Toby Northern.
Yeah, I saw that behind him, and I was like, "Oh, I'm jealous right now," because I have stickers every surface in my shop that can have a sticker.
Yeah, I have a cabinet door I devoted just for moto vloggers or YouTubers stickers that I put up there, and I got quite a few of them up there now. I had a couple before I left for Daytona. When I came back, I had a ton. So, you know, it took me a little while to get them all up there, but they're there.
And that's cool to me, because like if you're trying to think of somebody or you saw something and you're trying to remember, you just look at that board and it's got everybody's logo up there and you'll remember who you were looking for, you know?
Yep.
I eventually, when we get our new place, I want we're gonna do a separate like bedroom for a man cave, and I'm gonna have other things. I do scale model cars, so I need to have a big desk set up for my scale model cars, and then I'm gonna have another side that's gonna be a studio, and I want to be able to hang stickers and patches in my studio so that while I'm sitting there looking at my YouTube stuff, I can look at that thing and remember who I want to go look at.
Yeah. Yeah, that's important. I mean, I want to do a studio here in my house. I do some of my lives in the garage. I call it the OR, and the lifts, I call them the operating tables, you know, using the whole twist on the doctor theme.
Yeah, keep with the theme.
Yeah. And so I want to do an actual studio for when I do my lives and everything.
Yeah, my shop is aptly called the Dog Pound.
There you go. There you go. I like that. That's cool.
Well, if I already have a logo for my business. If I ever started, it's a takeoff of the bar and shield for the Harley thing, but it's called Dogs and Hogs Garage because
There you go.
Harley's in there, and then everywhere around the I think we're down to 5 dogs right now, but we have dogs everywhere. And if you ever watch my videos, the only reason you can't hear them barking now is because it's dark and they're in their doghouse. But normally my dogs bark all over everything. If you hear the audio behind my intro and outro on my videos, and you hear dogs barking in the intro and outro, those are actually my dogs, and they do that every time I sit on my motorcycle.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep. So I had to put that in my thing. Everything we do around here is centered around our dogs. So, that's kind of where, like I said, that's where the development of the channel idea came from, is because everything we do is dog centric around here.
Yeah. My channel's basically based on everything Harley Davidson, from, how-tos to rallies, bike nights, dealership visits, moto vlogging, product reviews, and I've done some product reviews, some sunglasses from a company called Inferno USA. I love them. I think they're great. I own 4 pairs now. There's a pair in each car, and my wife and I each have a pair for riding.
Are they unbreakable?
No, but they carry a lifetime guarantee. They're scratch resistant, fog resistant. Our riding glasses, the goggle section pops in and out, and you find them at all the rallies, and they're easy to get a hold of and talk to. I did an interview with Mark from Sanity Jewelry when I was in Daytona. I've known Mark for 10 years when he started his business. It's a biker jewelry by bikers. And they do everything from rings to necklaces to earrings to hand-forged Damascus knives and hammers and 4-finger rings. And they're Damascus knives. They forge themselves, and they're 512 layers.
Hey, I figured out how to do something else.
There you go. Yeah, you'll learn it, and as you learn it, it actually comes easier and easier and easier, and second nature. I mean,
so is it the same kind of layout on the computer too, or is this just basically a phone thing?
Well, you'll see your picture, my picture, and then our titles will be there. Like yours says "Dog on a Hog," mine says Dr. Harley, and the live chats or the chats on the side.
Yeah, that's the way it's showing here. I just I think if I get it set up right, I'd rather use my laptop than my phone to do this. So I'm hoping it seems like on the phone it's really easy to use right here. So I'm hoping it's the same on the laptop software.
It's very easy to use on your laptop. It's all you got to do is go to the website, log in, and from there you could create all your live streams. You could schedule your live streams, and you could pre-record it. You could, let's say if you want to do an interview with somebody that couldn't do it at night, your live stream, you could pre-record it and have it done, and then premiere it as a video instead of a live stream.
Nice. Yeah, I'd like to be able to do some of that later on. I'd like to be able to do interviews because there's people I'd like to sit down and talk with. So,
yeah. Like I'm going to try and get Danny D'Lo on. I've been chatting with him a little bit here and there, behind the scenes, and I'd like to get him on my channel. He does a lot of motorcycle club etiquette stuff, and he's a good dude.
Yep. I've actually talked to him on Instagram. So,
I tried getting.
He did a story I knew something about way more than they did. It was weird because they did there was a story going around. I think it was the beginning of last summer, and it was about things that had happened here in Portland. And I was telling all of because they have the circle, they have Hollywood, they have
Black
Dragon and you know, Sos and Danny and all them. And I was trying to get a hold of everybody, telling them, hey, look, the here's the real deal on this story. I'm trying to let you guys, because you know they were going off something that was in the press, which was completely fictitious. And I was trying to tell them, and out of everybody that I reached out to, Danny D'Lo was the only one that responded back and said, hey, let me hear what you have to say. So I've kind of been a little partial to Danny D'Lo ever since that, because he was the only one that took the time to actually contact me back, you know.
Oh, I'm getting reports on my mic's a little low, so give me a second.
I don't know. You sound okay over. Hey, is that Ray? Hey, Ray. You did this. This is your fault. So thank you.
Hey, Ray,
I was joking. I don't know. You sound fine over here to me. I don't know what to do with that.
Maybe Ray needs to turn his hearing aids up.
But I guess thanks to Ray, this may be a wonderful accident, because this was not what I was planning on doing this evening.
When I decided to do the lives, I was watching, Ray and Tweedle and Monkey when he did his lives every other Friday. And I was like, I could do that. That looks like fun. I'll give it a shot. And when I started, I've had my first live. I think I had one person watching, which was the wife, and it just grew from there. Just don't give up, and you will get. You are a little low. Oh, okay. So let me turn it up even more. But it does grow over time. So, it just takes time.
I have to agree.
And
I think that's why I like this
hate comments. And whenever I get a hate comment, I give them a thumbs up. I say, thanks for watching. I have one or two trolls right now. Every time I put up a video, within the first 30 seconds, I get 2 thumbs down on it. I'm like, why? I don't understand. But hey, thanks for watching. You can
still see those? I thought you couldn't see those anymore.
What, the thumbs downs?
Yeah, I thought they canceled that.
No, when you go into the analytics of the video and it gives you your percentage. Let me bring that up so I can give you the actual correct.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look for that. I didn't know they did that still. I'll have to check that out.
So when you go into the content section of your analytics, and it tells you likes versus dislikes. Like I have one here. It's got 39 likes and 1 dislike, so it's a 97.5%. And that's when I was at Blockhead Moto Garage. I did a quick little short while I was there. And let's see, the live I did yesterday. Okay, I got 33 likes. That's 100%. Shop Talk with Dr. Harley, talking about experiences in Daytona. I got 24 likes and 3 dislikes. And you know what? It is what it is. At first I was like, oh man, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I said, you know what? I don't care. I really don't. I'm not going to kill myself over it. I'm not going to stress over it. Yeah,
YouTube. I'm finding YouTube's pretty finicky. When I went on Ray's, maybe it was Mike. I think it was Mikey's live feed a couple weeks ago. I got like 16 subscribers out of that, and I went and looked today, and I lost 6 of those 16 subscribers. And
what it is there are a lot of fake accounts out there that go around just subscribing automatically.
Really?
And YouTube goes through and removes those. Sometimes I'll say, hey, look, I'm at this. Oh, wait a minute. Why did I just lose 5?
Yeah, that's what I did today. I was like, I didn't even post a video, and I pissed people off.
Yeah. So it is what it is. I'd rather have 10 people who watch me than 10,000 people who just subscribe just to subscribe.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
I make the videos for me, and it's the content I want to make, and people want to watch. That's awesome. I appreciate it. If people don't want to watch, you know what? That's their choice in life, I
Well,
think I put up pretty good content with that's very informational. I had one guy, I did Dakota Digital Gauges on a road glide, and someone left me a comment, says, huh, you didn't show any of the install. This was useless. My response is, hey, look, I'm sorry you feel that way. I did the best I can. I'm only one person trying to do the install and the camera work all at the same time. I'm sorry you feel that way. But all the other comments were, hey, good content. Hey, I really didn't think it was that easy,
Well, my thing is when it comes to stuff like that is like, I'm not paying anybody to put a video out there. I have no right or call to tell them what they are supposed to do or not supposed to do in their video. They're not my employee. They're not under contract. It's entertainment, and that's one thing I've came to I watched a video, and I for the life of me I couldn't tell you who it was, but I watched a video about how to be a good creator, and the two things that I took away that were really important is first of all, YouTube is entertainment. YouTube is not meant to be educational. YouTube is not meant to alter your life in any way, shape, or form. It's purely entertainment. If you get more out of it, then great. If not, take it for what it is. And the second point that I was told, that I heard, that I've taken to heart, is you make your channel for you. And if I equate it, I'm big into analogies, and it's like, I'm going to get in my truck and I'm going to go where I need to go. And if you want to go there too, you get in the truck and you come with me. If not, go find somewhere else to go with somebody else. It's that simple. My truck is going to go where I need it to go, period, regardless of what your agenda is. And that's how I'm doing my YouTube channel now, is I'm doing what I like. And hopefully there are other people out there that like the same thing I do and are going to join, watch it and get entertainment value out of it, because that's what it's here for. I'm not a teacher. I don't have a degree in education. I'm not a mechanic. I don't have a degree in engineering, or, I don't have any certificates for being a mechanic. I'm not a pro at any of this. I'm just showing you what I'm doing with my life and what I enjoy doing with my life. And if you enjoy that as well, I would love it if you came with me, because I love company. But if not, that's your choice. There are a million channels out there. One of them is going to give you what I'm not. So you are more than welcome to go do that. If you want to tell me, fine, I'll try and give it to you in the next video. If not, I'll just do what I can.
And there are a lot of, I go out and say it a lot of my videos. Hey guys, I'm working for you. You're the boss. You tell me what you want to see me do, and if I could make it happen, I'll do the video. And nobody's ever said anything. Well, actually, yeah, one person says, "Hey, I would really like to see how to adjust the clutch." So I did a video because I had a request on how to adjust your clutch, and their response is, "Oh, I always thought it was at the cable." No, that's your cable adjustment. That's not your clutch adjustment.
Yeah.
And I explained it that this was a request for a viewer. Now, another YouTuber, she was her two wheels. I'm going to throw her name out there. She was looking at doing handlebars on her road glide, and she didn't know what she wanted. So I did a video. I tagged her in it, and how to select your handlebars, how to size them to you, what's the rise, what's that mean, what's the width, and I explained what pullback is. Because a lot of people say, I just want 14-inch bars. Okay, how much pullback do you want? How wide do you want them? What style do you want?
You'd be surprised at how many longtime riders don't know what pullback is.
Yeah, and they're sitting there going, huh? Yeah, I mean, these are all options, and you can't custom make some of the options, but you could get them close to where you want them.
Or with handlebars, you just go to a different manufacturer, like you get, what was it? I think KST, am I saying that right? KST makes bars, and then you get the actual meat hooks, and there's different pullbacks on them. And I like more of a straight. I don't like my wrist to be turned. So I go, I like the meat hooks better than the KSTs, because meat hooks have less pullback to them. You just, when you know that, you can decide which, is it worth the extra $100 to make your arms comfortable for how many hours you're on your bike,
Well, I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag a little bit here. I'm doing there'll be a future video. It's still in progress because I'm reaching on handlebars, and I have a couple handlebar companies, KST being one of them, Tab being another one. Actually, Tab and KST are very excited about my idea, and I'm reaching out to a few other companies, and I just want to borrow the bars. I don't want them for free. Let me borrow the bars, and I'm not gonna install them. I'm not gonna run any cables through them. I'm gonna put them out on a table, and I'm gonna basically it's a comparison of finish, construction, and price point.
I think doesn't Blockhead do something like that in his videos?
I'm not sure if he has or not.
I know he does stuff like that with helmets quite a bit. I've seen him do it with helmets.
And cams and exhausts and all that. And KST and
Good night, Lolly.
very, very excited about doing that. And so I got to reach out to Factory 47, and I want to reach out to Carlini. And I made that offer to another vendor in Daytona, and I'm not going to say their name. They looked at me and said, well, my company's well known enough. I don't need any advertising, or not interested in that. It's okay, no problem. Have a nice day. I thought I'd make an offer for you. And I says, apparently you don't want your handlebars to be put up against the industry leaders. Because when I go through construction, as I have a lighted bore scope that I'm going to bore scope and show it on the video, what does it look like where you run your wires through? Is it sharp? Is it jagged? Is there pieces of welded slag inside of there that will catch and cut and take care, Lolly? That type of stuff. And a really
I'm sure there's some handlebar manufacturers that don't want you to do that. I can tell you that right now. They're not going to be happy with the results of that, because not a lot of them take care of what goes on inside those bars, because they sell them to you. They don't have to run the wires through them.
Right. And, and I'm 100% transparent with these companies with Tab and KST, and they're like, oh yeah, let's do it. That's a great idea. Let's do it.
But see, those are the companies that you're going to gravitate more towards. That's an awesome idea. That's good marketing
for them.
Yeah.
Good content for me, and, great marketing for them. And
yeah, it's a win-win.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a win-lose for them too, because if I sit there and says, hey, this handlebar is constructed better, look at these welds on the inside compared to these welds on the inside, that could actually, hurt them. But also it could drive them to change the way they do things and make their handlebars better.
Constructive criticism.
Yep. Yeah.
But I mean, if you want to sell more bars,
T-bars are the easiest things to internal wire. To be honest with you, I actually did a video on a set of T-bars on how to internal wire your handlebars.
Oh goodness, how would you do that? I never even thought about that. Don't the top bar, doesn't it run all the way through? Or do they have stoppers inside it?
The T-bars I did, they didn't come across the top. The crossbar was on the bottom.
I don't understand what that means. You lost me on that one.
Okay, so a T-bar, right? It either comes right across the top with the two down legs, or they will come down and then have the T as a lowercase before they bolt to your triple trees.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Yep. I did that video about a year ago.
But still, okay, say you got, because like if and when I get my Road Glide, I'm thinking about doing a oh my God, what's his name? Who's the guy that does King of the Baggers? Not Hayden. Is it Hayden? No, it's K something. Anyways, the guy that won all the races for King of the Baggers. I kind of want to do a tribute bike, because everybody's doing the long and low and all of that with, extended panels and all of that. But I would like to get the ST that sits a little bit higher anyways, and do like a King of the Baggers tribute with it. And I always wondered, how do you run the wires in the T-bars? Like, so if they're the up, if they're uppercase T, is there stoppers in there? Because all I can see is like on my
Nope.
drag bars, they just want to go from one side to the other.
Well, there's an easy way to do it, and how I feed my pull string through is I use a beaded chain. I feed that through. It's got
Also,
its
to
own
naturally
weight.
drop down in
Like
there.
gravity do its thing. It always works, and that's how I pull my pull cord through, and then I pull the wires through with that.
Gotcha. Trade
Like
secrets.
I said, handlebar wire, internal handlebar wiring made easy.
Yeah, I haven't done us that yet. Live streams can be a blessing or a curse, but dog and a hog you will do well takes time. Let's do that. Oh, that's how that works. Okay. Yeah, because I've got 2 sets of 16s. I'm eventually going to put a set of 16s on mine, but I still haven't got. I'll do my own wiring. That's not a big deal. I've got a whole shop full of wiring out there, but it's the cables. I have to get the extended cables for the clutch and brake, and I just right now that's not in the budget, so it's on hold. But I really want to put my 16s on there. So and right now it's an 06 Road King, so it's got external wiring. Everything's on the outside. Not a big deal. It doesn't bother me that much. But when I get the 16s, I'm going to want that real clean at the top. So I'm going to have to do internal wiring on those. And everybody I've talked to says I'm not looking forward to wiring those
Watch
those
my
bars.
video. Watch my video. It really will make it easy for you.
Okay.
And I even did a video on soldering techniques and wiring techniques. Believe it or not, I had a bike come in that some guy had his buddy who knows how to work on bikes put his handlebars on. Well, every time he turned his handlebars, things would short out, the bike would stall, horn wouldn't work, or, they would just short out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that happening to me.
So, his buddy, who's an electrician, who also knows how to work on bikes, did his handlebars. He cut and spliced the new wiring in. Nothing wrong with that. Where he went wrong was he used small housing wire nuts. There was literally over 30 wire nuts inside of his fairing for his handlebars.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
It was, hence why everything was shorting out. So,
I've run into car wiring like that before.
Yep. So, I called him, I told him what I found, and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." He came over, he took a look at it. He says, "So I got to buy new wiring harnesses?" No, what I could do is I could remove these wire nuts. I'll, put some heat shrink on it. I'll solder them together. I'll heat shrink it, and that will fix your problem.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I don't know if anybody's seen my video or not, but I just put out a video a couple days ago where I'm going to try to do something custom. I've never made anything custom before, but I'm going to try my shot at it. And like I said, I'm a shade tree mechanic because I basically can't afford to have somebody else work on my stuff or go buy the new stuff. So I just figure out how to work on my old stuff. Anyways, I have a Road King, but I have a quick detached fairing. And what I want to do is it's an outer fairing. That's all it is. So I've got pretty straight 12-inch rise bars on it right now, and they're shoved all the way to the inner fairing. I mean, to the outer fairing. So there's no room to put an inner fairing on there because I like to stretch out when I'm riding. And that's another reason why I want to get the 16 so I can be stretched out a little bit more. But I want to put I have another outer fairing, and I'm going to make a quick detach fairing setup with inner and outer. But because it's a Road King and I don't have all the gauges, I'm going to create a giant sound system out of it. All the little holes for the gauges and whatever are going to be filled with either stupid accessories like a thermometer and a clock, or it's going to be filled with a tweeter or a mid-range or something. And I'm going to make a speaker system out of the inside and then color match it and all of that so that I think it'll look pretty cool. And it's basically just a little plug with the speaker wires, and then I unplug that, pull the fairing off, and it's back to a Road King.
Yep.
But yeah, the whole wiring thing. Oh, the reason I was saying that is in order to do that, I have to get Street Glide electric glide bars with the backwards curve in them, because all the other handlebars I have won't work anymore. They won't clear the interfering. So I'm going to have to, as soon as I get that fairing setup complete, I'm going to have to switch to my Street Glide 16s in a hurry.
Yeah. And I actually put a set of Street Glide handlebars on a Road King because the guy liked that style. He liked how it came up and rolled around, and it pushed him that much further. And hey, that's what you like. That's what you like. You know, I put T-bars on Street Glides and Road Glides. And, you know, if that's what you like, that's what you like. It's personally, it's not my style or choice on a bagger, but they love it. And, you know, hey, it's what you love. Ride your ride.
Amen. It's your bike. You got to ride it. Nobody else does.
Yeah. So one of my favorite videos is Mikey when he sat there with the Sawzall on his pair of handlebars. I laughed when I saw that. I've actually had to cut handlebars to remove the wiring because the slag was so bad inside that I couldn't pull the wires out. So I ended up having to cut the bars, but that's okay. He was replacing them.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard some yelling. I had to figure out what was going on in my house. Sorry for going dead there for a minute.
No worries.
But yeah, I have. Soon as I get situated in our new location, I'm gonna set up a reel shop and a couple of tables and actually start going to town on some projects. So hopefully I'll have some good comment or content coming out of that. And again, you know, if you're watching this and you're looking forward to these videos, keep in mind, I am not a mechanic. I am not, you know, I'm not even that well versed in Harleys or anything that are on them. I just figure it out as I go. It's my bike. If I break it, I can't get mad at anybody but me.
Well, I like VP Customs. They put a disclaimer in the beginning of all their vehicles, the video saying, we are not professionals. We're doing this for fun. If you're not here for that, then, you know, basically leave. I like that they put that disclaimer in.
Yep. Yeah, that was like my disclaimer at the beginning of I did my video with the review on the 2023 lineup. And I basically said, I see all these people putting out unqualified, uneducated opinions on the 2023 lineup. Well, here is my unqualified, uneducated opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I when I did my review of the 2023 lineup that came out already, that was at the dealership, it's my opinion.
Yep.
You know, when on the 18th, when they launched all the new colors and, you know, they launched that Prospect Gold, I've said it from the beginning. I have to see it in person. For instance, that Snake Venom.
They look different in person.
Yeah. When they announced that Snake Venom color, I was like, I don't really get it. It looks muddy.
What's the deal?
And then when I saw the bike and the color in person, like, that's gorgeous. I love it. So when I saw that Prospect Gold in person, I was just like, wow, that is really nice. I saw
that's the one that gets me. It looks ugly as crap on the videos, but everybody that sees it in person says they like it. So I'm going to have to see one in person. I saw it in the dealership, and I also saw it outside in the sun. And I could tell you, in the sun, it really sparkles. It shines. It's awesome. Now, see, I'm a big red fan, and if you watch the channel long enough, you'll understand that. Everything I did, and it's probably because I'm a Buckeyes fan. I was a Little E fan. Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan. Everything I do seems to be red, gray, black somehow. And so the what are they called? The Heritage Red coming out on the 2023s. I was all excited about that. And then I finally saw one in person. I'm like, I really don't like that. And it takes a lot for me to not like a red bike. But for some reason, it looked great in the pictures. And then I saw it in person. I'm like, that's too much. They shouldn't have done that. But I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm sure there's lots of people out there going to love their Heritage 120th anniversary paint job. And that's great. But for me, I didn't dig it. It's totally different to see them right there in front of you. And like you said, even the difference between seeing it inside on the showroom and then having them pull it outside, it looks like a whole different paint job. I know mine does. Mine looks different in the shop than it does. I pull it outside and all of a sudden, bam, it pops. It's got in my shop, it just looks like a plain old maroon bike. But then you pull it out in the sun and it's different. So you have to look at them in person before you make a judgment.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. I really do. I mean, personally, the yellow, I thought that was the yellow and black bike. I thought that was going to be a great looking bike. And when I saw it, I was like, the yellow is really lacking luster. It's kind of muted. It's understated. It's like a mustard color. And well, you know what? Here's the thing. I don't have to buy it.
Correct.
Everybody talks about how the new CVO Rogue Glide Ultra looks like a Goldwing. Well, it does, but you know what? You don't have to buy it.
And it's different areas too. A bike that isn't popular in Connecticut, or where did you say you were? Over there somewhere? Connecticut?
Yep.
A bike that is not popular in there, or like they couldn't sell it in Boston if they gave it away. Probably will sell 100,000 of them in Southern California or Florida.
Well, I was at Harley Davidson today, and I was talking to the general manager, and he was telling me that orange they came out with, they were like, we won't sell one of these things because he thought it was a very hideous color. He can't keep them in stock. People are buying them up. Night Frogzilla.
One of my guys just bought one of those. It's not a CVO, but it's black with the orange accent stripes on it. And
no, I'm talking to 2023. That's all orange.
Oh, the all orange. Yeah, I saw 2022 that was all orange. I haven't seen a 23 yet. But
they can't keep it in stock. 2023. As soon as they get it, they sell right out.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of orange on bikes, and then and he told me about it, and I'm like, well, that's great. I'm glad you're happy and everything. And then I went and looked at it, and I was like, wow, I love that bike when I saw it in person. I want an orange accent bike now. I never thought in my entire life I would like an orange bike, but the way they put that one together.
My first bagger was the Amber Whiskey Street Glide in 14, and it was orange, and that color really pops. It looks phenomenal. The guy I sold it to, so I went to Daytona with, and the bike still looks phenomenal. You see that color, it just pops. It's eye grabbing. It's, attention getting. Yeah, it's got the whole stretched bags and fenders and big wheel and stuff I put on it, but it's still an eye-catching color. Yeah.
And I think custom baggers need to be a color like that. Like I wouldn't on my Rogue Glide, I think it needs to be somewhat muted. But when you get stretched bags in the Dragon fender, in the wraparound front fender and all that, and you get the sexy bag stretch or tank stretch panels and all that, I think the perfect color sets that off, because you can do that all day long, and then you paint the bike black and nobody notices it anymore. It just disappears. I think when you do all that custom body work to a bike, you need a popping color so people look at it for more than a second and actually realize all the work you put into that bike.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you've seen Hell's on Two Wheels' bike yet.
I may have seen it in passing, but I haven't taken a great look at it yet. Is that the one you guys are on the bass boat?
No, that's Tweedledee.
Oh, okay.
Hell's on Realty did an unveil of his bike at the Chromeworks display at Destination Daytona during Bike Week. It was custom paint, built motor. The whole bike is soup to nuts been done, and it is absolutely stunning. And the more you look at it, the more stuff you find within the paint, and the more custom stuff you find. And it's an amazing bike. It really is. And I congratulated him on it. It's a beautiful bike. I can't say enough about it. I was down when he was rolling in to park it at, I'm sitting there I said, why do I hear a stock car? It's Bike Week, and it's him rolling in.
Nice. Is it 2-in-1 or is it full pipe?
2-in-1.
Yeah, because I think once you start going all the drop bags, and if you stretch it so far, then there's no room for the pipes anyways, and you have to go a 2-in-1, right?
No, you could get 2-in-2.
Even on something that's like a 9 down or something, you could still do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of, a buddy of mine, I didn't know anybody until recently that he's got a Road King almost just like mine, and he put a 2-in-1 on his, and it's a little raucous, but it sounds wicked coming down the road. It sounds pretty bad. I'm liking that 2-in-1 idea right now.
2-in-1 is really good for, helping your torque, because you're creating that much more back pressure, which helps out torque. And, I personally, when you get into performance, a 2-in-1's the way to go. And that's my personal opinion. And I've seen it on dynos that a 2-in-1 system is better than a 2-in-2.
Yeah, I have to, once I get my bobber back on the road, I'm going to start doing some upgrades to it, because it's a 1400 intruder, and you would think being a 1400 in a little bike, but I mean, it's got to be like a 50 horse motor tops. It's not, and it's only a 4-speed. It's really long legged. So I want to do some performance stuff to it. And I think that's one thing I want to do. It's got Jardine straights on it right now. So it's got the little V-twin rumble, but it sounds like it's through tin cans. So it doesn't sound like a Harley at all. Doesn't have any depth to the tone of it or whatever. So I saw somebody had a Honda Shadow bobber that had 2-in-1s that dumped straight down, and I could hear that thing 4 blocks away. And yeah. I still have my sandwich, unless what are you planning?
I was gonna make chicken tacos.
I've still got my sandwich I can eat. You don't have to make anything for me. Perfect. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Steak and lobster.
Dinner call.
I put my order in for steak and lobster.
Yeah, steak or lobster.
I said chicken tacos, but
yeah, chicken tacos seems to be the popular thing right now.
Oh, okay. I'll take.
But yeah, I've got
I'll get them right over there.
I got a stage 2 96, which isn't that big, but my little Road King, she's pretty peppy, and now I don't even know how I'm gonna ride that bobber anymore after riding that Harley around for a while, because one common problem, like I can't even do a burnout on my intruder, and it's got to weigh 400 pounds right now. It doesn't weigh anything with a 1400 in it, but the problem is they're all torque. Okay. And actually, they have a problem from the factory. They need a performance clutch in it, because it just slips the clutch. Like, I had a guy on a Dyna. By the time I hit 3rd gear, I was pulling away from him, but he left me like I was sitting still off the line, because the clutch is so bad. You got to feather it out. You can't get any kind of launch from it. Well, it's kind of ridiculous. But
when I took that 131 for a ride today, I was a little afraid to launch it.
I bet. Do you know how much that Softail weighs? Is it what, like a 700-pound bike, maybe?
It's right around 600.
Oh, Jesus! Yeah, that's. I rode a 114 Street Bob, and I think it was a 21 114 Street Bob, and that thing was scary. I mean, literally, it scared me. And then it started sprinkling while we were on our ride, and I couldn't give it the beans at all. I like had to leave in second all the time because
with a cammed up 131.
Yeah, I can. That's why I'm saying I can't even imagine that. Because that's got to be twice as hairy as that Street Bob was.
I'm hoping to get 150 horse at the tire.
Oof.
That's my goal.
That's a bunch. That's
my
getting a.
That's my.
You have a direct line to Dunlop for that?
I don't know if I can find a tire that will hook up with that.
That's what I'm saying. You need a direct line to Michelin or Dunlop or somebody, so you can have them constantly send you tires every month.
Yeah, sponsorship would be great. I actually had a tire sponsor when I was autocrossing. I was actually sponsored by Avon Racing Tires.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Which, put me at a disadvantage because everybody else is running Hoosiers.
But when you're sponsored, you don't have the opportunity to switch.
Nope. And they breached their contract for the Nationals because they couldn't get me tires because part of the contract is I'd have a new set every month for racing. Well, I'm coming to the Nationals, which crowns your national championship and all that because it's, points throughout the season. And I was in the hunt for a national title. And I told them, I need these tires. They're like, well, we don't have them to give you. I says, you're in breach of contract. Like, well, I can't give you what we don't have. We can't make them in time. I'm like, well, I'll tell you what, since you're in breach of contract, your name is coming, Avon Tires is coming off the car and I'm buying a set of Hoosiers. And they're like, well, you can't do that. I'm like, I can because you're not holding up your end of the contract. And cars that were, sometimes faster than me, depending on the day, I changed tires and I ended up winning a national title because I went to Hoosier.
Yeah, I liked Hoosier. I used to drag race a Buick. I liked Hoosiers on my Buick.
Yep. So I had to get a set of dry and wet Hoosiers because I refused to run Avon at that point.
Well, buddy, I'm looking at the time. It's like $1:37 already. Now I see how Ray does it. The time just kind of gets away when you're sitting there bullshitting, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and it's almost 8 o'clock. I don't know what time it is for you, but it's got to be way late.
It's about almost 11 o'clock now.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to cut this off here, and I do appreciate. Like I said, you're my first special guest star, I guess you could say. First special guest on my first official live chat. Yeah, and I do want to say I appreciate everybody that's watched in and everybody that's watching and everybody that's chimed in on the comments. That's pretty cool. Like I said, I feel pretty fortunate that I jumped into Mikey and Ray's circle and met all you guys. So
yeah, right on.
I feel kind of blessed for that.
Yeah, Ray's a good dude. I got a lot of love and respect for him.
Seems like y'all are a bunch of good dudes in a good group. So I'm glad that I found my way into it.
I'm just an asshole biker.
Yeah, we all are. That's why we get along with each other because we're all the same amount of asshole, right? All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and fade this out. Thanks everybody. Whoever, Motozillion, Frogzilla, Evil Rick. Anybody else? I'm not sure. Oh, there's only 3 people still watching, so I think that covers you guys. Hopefully, I can pick a good time, or when I figure that out, I'll chime in on somebody else's live stream and let you guys know what's going on.
Yeah, right on.
Because this is actually kind of fun and kind of therapeutic to just sit and bullshit for a while.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Well, happy Sunday night. Peace out. Keep the rubber side down. And maybe I'll end this with what I say on my video. Do what you love, do it safely, and do it with purpose.
Yep.
Peace out, guys.
All right. Later.
Now I got to figure out how to stop it. End. in broadcast.